Hi guys, good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. I wanted to say welcome to my newest Patreon subscriber. For those of you that subscribe over on Patreon for me, thank you so very much. I really, really appreciate your subscriptions. They mean the world to me. If you're interested in subscribing to the channel, you can feel free to go to patreon.com and look up Engelgeist. Over there, you get the daily forecast a day early. You also get special readings each month that come out on a monthly basis, depending on the level that you choose. So I just want to say thank you to Rhonda J. She just subscribed yesterday, and I just want to say welcome to the Patreon subscription family. I greatly appreciate it. For those of you that are new or don't know much about the channel, please check out the drop-down menu underneath the daily forecasts. In there, it gives you a little insight into not only how to contact me or follow me on social media, but also what I want you to keep in mind when you're utilizing these videos. They are daily and intended for quite a few people, so I speak in broad spectrums. So that they will apply to most people's lives. You have to figure out where they best apply. That's your job in this. If it doesn't make sense or doesn't seem to fit, that's okay. It may not be your reading at this time. There's nothing wrong with that. This reading was originally created for Tuesday the 4th of May, but it's also a reading that is timeless in the sense that if you're seeing it on a date that's not May 4th, continue to watch it. There might still be a message in here that it fits to your life. I believe that our higher powers or, spirit guides or even our own higher selves can find the messages we need when we need them if we're paying close enough attention. So trust in that. So let's get into this and check this out, see what's going on here. What are the energies that are at work today? What do the cards want us to know? What are we sharing collectively that we can either benefit from or need to be aware of? That kind of a thing. Okay. So I'll take it. I love it. So we have the Emperor, the fourth card of the Major Arcana, usually meaning it'll be quite the significant day, or ideally an event or person that should have a fair amount of sway, influence, or significance within our day-to-day should take place. It could be a shift in our own person, right? In our own perception of things, how we approach a situation. The Emperor to me is always steady. He's grounded. He is full of discernment, right? He's very clear on what he wants and how he wants it. His expectations are very high. Now, this could be you, or this could be somebody around you. The Emperor is associated with the sign of Aries, which is the sign of fire. It can be a little bit impulsive, but with the Emperor, to me, because he's a number 4 card, he brings in a sort of stability with him. I kind of see him as the sort of benevolent father of the deck. He's like, he loves you, but he has certain expectations he needs you to meet. Or if you're in this role today, you are loving yourself enough to hold yourself to a high enough standard that your expectations of others should be met. Does that make sense? Now, sometimes with expectations, we can run into problems where people don't live up to them, and then we get frustrated and we may lose that authority that the Emperor has to him. We don't want to lose that. We want to understand that if somebody maybe doesn't live up to our expectations, they fail us or betray us in some way. And I'm not saying that we're bound to be betrayed today. I'm just saying that the Emperor, because of his high expectations or because of his authority and because of his awareness and his discernment, he usually sees things from a slightly higher perspective. If we're seeing things from that higher perspective or having those higher expectations and people around us aren't meeting them, we don't want to lose our shit and freak out and lose the energy of this Emperor, the stability, the intelligence, the discernment. There's always another path with the Emperor, right? He's always thinking sort of maybe 2 steps ahead. So if somebody or a situation isn't working for us, there's another way out. There always is another way out. That action-oriented sign of Aries says that he can figure out quickly, even if need be, what next plans or steps need to be. So excuse me, I'm not mad at this at all as far as our as far as this being our card for the day. On Sunday's reading, which will appear down in the lower hand corner so you can understand what I'm referencing if you want to watch it, the weekly underpinning energy. The first card of that reading is like the first few days of this week, which would be kind of today, where since today's Tuesday the 4th, we're switching between the first card and the second card, which is that Wheel of Fortune, Nine of Cups. And when you look at the Nine of Cups, he's very much like the Emperor, sitting there somewhat, not smugly, but like proud of himself, that he's done the work and things have happened in a way that he feels emotionally like taken care of, usually through his own efforts, right? The Emperor is very much that way. It's not so much an emotional card as much as it's an all-around well-being card, in the sense that we know what we need, we know what we want, we know how to get it, and if they can't deliver, whoever they may be in our lives, we will make sure that we get it in some way, shape, or form. Does that make sense? Like, to me, with the Emperor, this the phrase, if you want something done right, do it yourself, or whatever, you know, that phrase that I'm thinking of, that kind of phrase is sort of Emperor energy in the end. Like, if the Emperor needs to roll up his sleeves and get in there and get it done to make his expectations get met, he will. Do not cut corners with the Emperor, with the Emperor's energy. So no cheating today, no being lazy today, no, like, live to your highest standard. Even if you're not dealing with somebody else, if you are dealing with somebody else who's in this Emperor role, this could be like a father or a boss, or, you know, somebody in an authority position that has something that they need from you. You need to sort of rise to their occasion, because generally, as a rule, you will be richly rewarded for having done so. So if there's a situation or a person you're dealing with that, you know, you're just feeling like, I can't, you know, meet this person's needs, I believe this card is saying, indeed, you can. It's an opportunity to grow and to evolve and to deliver in such a way that you can be richly rewarded. Either way, this is a good card for you, whether you are in the seat of the Emperor or you are dealing with sort of an Emperor type. There's an opportunity to excel here, or to allow others to excel, to honor oneself, either through the role of the Emperor, by having those nice high expectations, or through meeting them for someone else. Does that make sense? Remember that Wheel of Fortune also is that sort of idea of things lining up for us. So this could be, if we find ourselves in the seat of this Emperor, we could be shifting our perception or our viewpoint around how empowered we are in our life right now. There could be large or important decisions we're making today about the course of the way the rest of our week or month or life may go, right? And we're using a discernment and intelligence. We're thinking far ahead. We're looking at the bigger picture. All of that would be part and parcel with the Emperor. It would also bode well with the Wheel of Fortune underneath this. Shifting into that Nine of Cups from Sunday's reading, again, there is that sort of seat of authority, being in charge, having done the work, really understanding and feeling good. So I think that this Emperor is telling us that the decisions we may make today, or the position that we hold today, sort of settles us into that much nicer, softer, emotionally fulfilled feeling of that Nine of Cups for the midweek. So be prepared for that. Let's look at the HEDGEWITCH Botanical Oracle. Okay. We have wormwood, which I know wormwood is poisonous, used amongst witches and things like that. I believe that it is indeed poisonous. It's used in a lot of spells to do weird shit to people. It may put you to sleep. The word is caution. So when we're looking at caution here, remember yesterday we had that Knight of Swords, and it felt kind of like he was quick to react, maybe wanted to get a little bit ahead of himself. The Emperor is going to slow that energy down. That caution here is about paying attention to all of the different aspects of a situation. Really tap into that intelligence and that discernment that the Emperor would have. There's a practicality to the Emperor. He doesn't ditch all intuition. He's sort of, I've said this before, he is the culmination of all of the four kings, right? So we have the element of fire, earth, air, and water all in the Emperor. He's using his brain, his heart, his psychic capacities, all of that to really weigh things through and look at it from a bunch of different angles. And this caution Wormwood card says to me that we want to do that today. We want to, if we need to slow it down and really look at the components of whatever it is we may be dealing with, or whomever it is we may be dealing with, to do so. Because it will help us to make an informed decision. It will help us to make an important decision or a clear decision. It will help us to ground our expectations into a place of reality, so that if they're not being met by ourselves or others, we can feasibly formulate another plan. Does that make sense? I don't get like a fear about this caution card, in the sense that I don't feel like there's a mistake at hand. I feel like the caution card is more like what's the word? Not a warning, but which you would assume caution would be a warning. But to me, it feels more like it's asking us to be an adult today. It's asking us to rise to the standards of this emperor. It's asking us to not be hasty or overly emotional. It's asking us to really think things through, so that we don't, rush in too quickly into one sort of situation, or perceive assumptions about another situation or person and why they do what they do. The emperor is a little bit detached from those sort of behaviors, right? He can't afford to get involved in that messiness. He's got more important work to do. So that's the caution to me today, is it's this idea. And again, remember, now that I'm just looking down on the desk, the word for the week is focus. And the emperor would definitely emphasize and personify that idea of focus. And then the caution wormwood card would also be about reminding us in a gentle way to keep our focus. Where is our focus? What are we focusing on? Are we focusing on what's not working, or how to make things work in our life? And that's sort of the power of these two together. Now, here is the grounding stone for today. This is something to ground in, a principle or thought to ground in while you're moving through this day. And the word is honor. Again, honor is very clear with the emperor. He expects it. He deserves it. He demands it in a lot of ways without being aggressive, right? He is the emperor, so he deserves to be honored. We each, in our own way, deserve to be honored for who we are, what we do. When we aspire to the high goals or the expectations of the emperor, we usually should feel as though we're accomplishing something. And that, in a way, is honoring ourselves, honoring our importance, our position of, I want to say, like, through free will, we get to make these decisions. And so there's an honor in that, in the respect of that. So honoring, ourselves first and foremost, but then also those around us through the benevolence and the discernment of the emperor today would be wise, and will also help us to keep that focus and to move forward, making very clear, positive decisions without being, say, maybe hasty or messy or, it's funny to me that wormwood, to me, the way that wormwood would sort of represent is like us sinking to others' levels and getting caught up in the drama. Where is the honor in that? There is none, right? So let's not do that today. Let's stay sort of above it and in charge, and honor ourselves first and foremost by not sinking to those levels, and see where the day takes us, because it's leading us towards that 9 of Cups. That is your forecast for the day. I hope you enjoyed it. Please hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, join us every morning if you'd like, and you can check out your monthly tarot scopes, contact me for a private reading. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.